thank you for introducing me to the people, and also our national chairman who is here, Mr. Mugadza, and every one of you who is here today. Thank you so much for honoring us and being here. You know what, I'm not going to be saying anything besides to say that, can you start asking questions? Big questions?
Pastor Mugadza, what led to you taking this decision of coming out and joining a political party?
Only way I can do that is when I begin to join the political mainstream. So this is the reason why I made this decision. Anyone else? Yes, what?
And then, Pastor, your timing. Do you think you can do much? Can you contribute to change for some sort, looking at the political situation that we are in right now?
Okay, that's a good question. But I think you know where I am coming from. I already have got a background. I have been sowing a seed, so to speak, a few years ago. So in my constituency, they actually know me so very well. And I strongly believe that some were just waiting to hear, to say that I am going to be what? To be standing for what? Standing for them. But well, they may not have really guessed as to which political party I was going to be part of. So from that background, I strongly believe that I have good chances to bring a change. It may not be to over 11 million people of this nation, but it may be just to a number of people, of which in Shona they say Atsunya Arwa. So if I'm going to be doing that, fighting also, something's going to come out of it. And I strongly believe that there's going to be an impact as a result of this move which I've taken.
What is it that is different from other politicians that you are bringing on the table that will make Zimbabwe say, have that wow moment and say, here is our leader?
Okay, I am from the background of what? Of an activist, which means to say that I have always been having the people at heart. I didn't just begin by being what? By being a politician. Right, I was out there. I think you remember in December of 2015 when I went to Victoria Falls and I raised a placard which was written, "Mr. President, people are suffering." I was not standing for anybody, no one was pushing me, no one was influencing me, but what was influencing me were the people, the general people in my area, and also generally in the whole nations as to what they were going through. So I'm saying I am a bit different from a lot of other politicians, because most of them just, hey, we're just getting in there, And I strongly believe that at the end of the day, is getting in there not for what they can give, but getting in there for what they can get. But I'm coming from a background of what? Of getting in because there's something I want to give. I want to serve. That's where I'm coming from. Okay.
Being a spiritual leader, is there a background of some sort? Like, have you heard a voice? Has someone spoken to you to get to this stage? Because normally you talk about somebody, leading you.
Okay. Not in this case. Not in this case. It's just a decision which I made to say, you know what, I think I can make an impact and also change people's lives. When I am in an environment where I'm actually able to make decisions which will then cascade down to our people who actually are suffering. But it's not like I had a voice, the heavens opened before me and said, hey, you know what, go for this. No, it never happened like that. I just made a decision, say, you know what, let me go for it. Yes.
Pastor Mugadza, following the Robert Mugabe prophecy, people dismissed you as an attention seeker. What do you think, or what are you bringing that will make them believe you this time? Because they are dismissing you as someone who's just seeking attention.
Well, maybe seeking of attention should have come right from 2015, but it was never mentioned that I was seeking attention. And but I believe also that you will appreciate, or people will appreciate, to say fine. They may have their mixed reactions as to what really happened and transpired around the 17th of October. But I also remember as mentioning this to say God has postponed the date, and even prior saying God has postponed, I've spoken about that again. I believe strongly that in this room, when I was asked to say what should the president do, and I said if he wants to avert this, he should go before what? He should go before God, and it can be averted because it's a biblical thing. It has happened in the Word. It has happened in the Word of God. But it's so unfortunate that people really wanted the man dead. They really wanted him dead, such that they never quizzed me the first time when I said it. Right? They only quizzed me later when I said it has been what? No, even when I said it has been postponed, they didn't say much about that. They waited for the day on the 17th. He didn't die. But look back at what I said. You said that it has been postponed. And now I believe strongly that people, if they really want to be rational, they will appreciate the fact to say that around this same time, which he was supposed to have died, he fell. And I think you also remember that in 2016, on the 9th of August, it was the last day of 40 days of prayer and fasting, which was hashtag Mugabe must fall. And my God, I love my God, because I believe he had to answer the falling first. Before his what? Before his physical death. So I strongly believe that people will appreciate that something happened. I've been getting emails, I've been getting messages to say, you were kind of right. Pastor, you were kind of right, Things have kind of fallen apart right from the 17th of October. And I told somebody who said, but why do you think God postponed this? I said, it could be because if he had died on the 17th, then he was going to be a national hero. But I strongly believe that now that he has not died on the 17th, I don't think he's going to be buried at the national shrine. And I think later, a few weeks later, you had Mr. Chinotimba saying that Mugabe is not going to be buried at the national shrine. Not to say that God had told me that, but I'm saying that all this was leading to this whole thing. And I strongly believe that my God, being an articulate person, a very ordered person, he had to make this decision so that we can see all what we are saying. And then Mugabe also will actually be able to help us to bring down ZANU-PF.
Pastor, which constituents do you wish to represent?
I'm going to be representing Kariba, and Kariba has Ebony and also the rural part. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah. What's your game plan, and what are you bringing into UDM that make you lure voters?
Okay, what we're going to be bringing in is not so different from what everyone else is bringing. But what we are really saying is different with us is to say that look at where we are coming from, especially the leadership. Right. We are not going to be promising only. We are not going to be speaking only, but we are making a commitment that we are going to be delivering. Because as for me, as for my background, where I'm coming from as a spiritual person, I am bound by the ethics of what? Of fairness, of truth. So I'm going to be bringing all these kind of things. And at the same time, again, as from the background of an activist, I want to see the alignment of all the laws, the AIPA being taken off and POSA being taken off is something we know, especially from the activism community, that it has been hindering us and it is still hindering us. Right now, tomorrow I'll be going to the court. I'm still going to the court. So all those kind of things have to be worked on. And we are also talking of saying that there is something people really dwell so much on. They like this FDI thing. Okay. FDI, I have got a personal understanding, and I was talking to my president to say, you know what, we need to look into this whole thing. If truly we lost $15 billion from what was said by the former president, then it means that we lost about four years of fiscus. Then eventually it means to say that we are actually able to bring ourselves up. I mean, we have Mr. ED being so happy about maybe about 4 billion coming in, just 4 billion. Compare that to 15 billion. That means as a nation, we have got the capacity of being able to bring ourselves up without having to be like giving away our nation. I have said that, yes, ED is saying that Zimbabwe is open for business. But for me, I am saying, what he's saying is like Zimbabwe is open for abuse. So it's like he doesn't really get to have a time to be vetting who is truly and genuinely coming in as to make this nation better. They will be coming in only to make sure they are going to be what they're going to be rich and taking things from us. But let's look at our background. We are saying we are able to capacitate ourselves. If in any way we're going to be truthful and honest people with ethics of honesty, we're going to make sure it's going to be very possible that this nation will rise up within a very, very short space of time. Not because somebody has come out there with a lot of money, which has got strings attached to the whole thing, and which will cause even our own posterity to be in debt. But we are going to be using our own resources to bring ourselves up, to look at critical areas, critical manufacturing areas, which we are going to be capacitating, which we know then we'll be able to We'll be able to actually push the whole nation to a better place. And that also means that we are going to be truly making sure we create employment, and not promising people employment which never got to come. Yes.
What makes you think that the people of Kariba will accept you as their candidate when you are a resident in Zimbabwe and you are out of touch with the reality on the ground in Kariba?
Okay, I'm a resident of Harare as of now. Okay, but I am somebody who has stayed and who really stays in Kariba, as in the sense of my heart, and I've been there for years in Kariba, and people are calling me.
What statistic are you using to measure the response of people in Namibia who are calling you to come and represent? How many are there?
In Kariba?
Yes. Well, a few phone calls and a few chats and a few WhatsApp messages does not fairly represent the magnitude of the people that are in Kariba.
Obviously, it's not possible for over 30,000 people to be able to actually send me a phone call. It's not possible. But what I'm saying is, people relate so very well with all the efforts I have done at national level. And they then appreciate to say that if this man is going to be like concentrating within our constituency, it will make a bigger difference. I'm so much in touch with what is on the ground in Kariba. If you would like me to mention those things for you, which the Caribbeans are actually facing right now, the rural part of it is the most expensive route in Zimbabwe. It costs $30 to get to the last place, and that road on the map, the national map, it is tarred to the end. But you know what? It leaves over 120 kilometers untarred. I'm so much in touch. I'm so much in touch with the fact that Kariba, being one of the biggest man-made dams in Africa, with lots of fish, but the locals are being made to pay to fish. An old woman is being made to pay $1 every day to go out there and and fish and feed their grandchildren. I'm so much in touch with what is happening on the ground when elephants, when buffaloes run on people and kill people, and no compensation. It comes out of Zimpax. But they have got people coming in from all over the world, hunters coming in to hunt, and a lot of money is coming in. And they buy themselves luxury cars, but they will not be able to compensate this kind of people who have actually been on loggerheads with these animals. This conflict which is there, which is not being addressed. And I'm also aware of the fact to say that land is being sold to outsiders and not to the Caribbeans.
Are they not investors? Those people that are being the land, who are buying the land, are they not investors who are coming to invest into Kariba, considering that is a tourist resort area?
They are indeed, but what I'm saying is that the first preference has got to be has got to be the locals. And this is what the locals are saying. Okay, this is what they are saying. Say, you know what, we need first preference for us to be able to fix, if it could be roads, for us to actually be working on land, so that we can be able to even if sell land to each other.
There are a few months before the elections. Are you not going to be one of the send line parties, which is a fly-by-night party? And how are you going to mobilize the people around the country, considering that you are also campaigning for the presidential candidate with the UDM as well? What is it that you are going to offer the people of Zimbabwe at national level, not a party from Glenview or from Kariba or just from Highfield?
National level is what we're talking about, to say that we're going to make sure that jobs are true.
We're not talking about jobs. We are talking about how are you going to mobilize support countrywide.
No, you also said what I'm not going to be offering. So maybe you asked me lots of questions in one place.
One by
one.
one.
Yeah, so that's what I'm asking. I'm answering right now to say that if you talk of the national level, as to say that what are we going to be offering? I said to you that we're going
Let's start with the mobilization of voters, because they are a few months before the elections.
Okay, what we are doing?
Mobilization of voters, not the manifesto you are going to give to people, but what are you going to do and what is on the ground to mobilize voters countrywide, so that you can match the other political parties that are there and show your uniqueness from MDC, from ZANU-PF, from any other political party.
We are moving. We have been moving, and we are moving. You know what? In different places. Just over the weekend, we were in Mtasa, we were in Mutare, we were in Bindura just recently. We are moving around the country to the best of our ability. We are also on social media. We are sending messages. We are sending around flyers wherever we are going. We are telling people as to who we are. We are doing the best we can. I know we will not be able to promise you to say that we will touch everybody in this country. That is not very possible, and no one will be able to do that. It is sort of whatever the resources they can be having. But we are doing the best we can.
Sorry, Pastor.
Yes.
Why UDM? There are like a lot of political parties in the country. What choice? What pushed you to join this UDM?
Beautiful, good question. Maybe I can just give an example, but I will not be able to mention the party. But it happened one day to say that certain party invited me. Say, you know what? We want you to be part and parcel of us. I said, okay, that's okay. So we moved a bit. All right. The next thing I said, you know what, guys? Tomorrow, I'm coming into town and I'm going to be doing a demo. So I passed through the offices. Okay. And then I said, guys, can somebody help me with something? You won't be there, but you'll be a bit far. I said, no, we are not going to be there with you. Okay, so I left my everything in the office. And you know what? I got myself arrested. Was in the cells. Eventually was in prison. They never showed up. Only to come back and say, you know, we are very sorry. We couldn't come because, you know what, me as a president, I mean, being seen coming to see you, it will attract a lot of attention. So I couldn't come. They really, yeah, fine. They really apologize. I really understood. And then with you, dear, this lady, the president, Violet Mariacha, before she actually started UDM, she tried to get hold of me, okay, or on like Facebook. And somebody told me in the street, say, you know what, this lady is looking for you, right? And I'm like saying, who is this? But she had never started UDM. And he said, you know what, we so much want to help you with what you are doing. I said, fine, go ahead and do that. So she has been helping me. But you know what, I was not part of even when she started a party, I was not part of a party. But you know what, she never came back to me and said, you know what, because I'm supporting you, I'm helping you, I want you to be part of this party. When I said to her, you know what, but I've realized that you have got a party. She said, yes. I said, why didn't you call me? She said, I didn't know you were interested. Are you? I said, yes, I am. Then she said, okay. I mean, there's some guys, she referred me to the national chairperson to say, get hold of him, and then he will help you around. And that was it. That's how it was like. That's how I joined. And later as I was moving on with them, not really very close, but from the background, she then picked me up to say, you know what, I want you to be my VP.
So in other words, you're saying your elevation to the vice presidency post was you were not elected by the UDM constituency, you were just imposed by the president.
It is very, very true. The president was given the mandate by what? By NEC. Right? To say, you know what, for the VP, you know the person you are able to what? To work with better. So can you please what? Go ahead and look for a person who can work with you.
Maybe just a bit of detail into your structures. Can you elaborate on it? Where are you guys? Where are you found? And how big is your constituency as UDM?
Okay, let me start by saying, being a small party, and a new party which is over a year old, we haven't covered really much ground, but we are known by quite a number of people, really, which is shown by way of people like calling us and all the shows from different places around the country. People are getting to pick us up. As to our structures, yes, we are starting with our president and all that thing, from there, me, the vice president, and everything else. And in many other places, like I was talking of Mutasa, I was talking of Bindura, I was talking of Gwanda, talking of Bulawayo, I was talking of Rusape. We have running structures. We have people on the ground. We are doing some work.
But other parties are talking about coalition. What is the position of UDM?
Yeah, that's a tricky one. I was talking to my president. Actually, I was listening to her also because yesterday she was on Star FM, and she was asked the same question. And then maybe I'm going to be answering the way she actually answered it. She said, looking at the coalitions and all that, the coalitions also seem not to be holding. That's what she said. They seem not to be holding. So maybe until and unless there's a significant sign to say that you know what, there's some unity which is running in and all that, because we don't want to just go and join some people and the next thing that alliance is off. It wouldn't make a lot of sense. So we really want to make sure that we are going to be in an alliance which is standing, which is running, and which is genuine and also honest. And then that's when we can make a decision as to where we can actually be going. Yes, sir.
I have two questions. You
Yes.
said you were just handpicked by the president. Is that what the constitution of the party says, that the president has the powers to do that? Number two, we've had so many career politicians from 1980.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them are still in government.
Mm-hmm.
How different are you from those?
Okay, we are different because I am not intending to really be here forever. No, because it will not make sense. Because I think from a background, I would say, Mr. Mugabe, you really better go back to Zimba and rest. So if I really stay put, then it won't make any sense. And besides that, let me really be frank with you that the people of Zimbabwe are sick and tired of people who are making politics a career, such that they will not be able to allow such kind of a thing to continue to continue happening unabated. It is not gonna. It's naturally not gonna be taking place. Even if maybe one may want to be doing that, but I strongly believe that it is not going to be possible. Yes, indeed, that's what is the Constitution says, that she has got the right to actually pick on answers, which then led to the writing of the Constitution to say that it is very important that these two positions be able to relate very well. Yes.
Other political parties are led by people who have degrees, some are lawyers, so to speak. What's your qualification? And also, what is the membership like for the party supporters who are card-carrying members? How many are there? Okay. Since the party was started?
All right. As to that number, I wouldn't be able to be having the figures right here with me, because cards are being sold every day. They're being sold every time.
The last number you knew?
The last number I had is of 50,000.
Enough to win you presidential office?
No, it's you know this is where the problem is, that people just think to say that everybody is dumb to an extent such that they will only vote for the people to whom they've got the card full. There are some people who are so sharp enough.
It forms the basis of party
support. Who are so sharp enough, who can be able to say, you know what, this is my party, UDM, but you know what, for my councillor, he was voted by people, but he's not the right person for this job. But this party has got a wonderful person who can stand for us. As much as I'm a current member of UDM, but I have got this guy who is not working well, who is not right, whom I strongly believe that will not be able to carry the ease of the people at heart. I want to vote for that person. So that disqualifies this whole thing to say that those who are like your members are the ones who will be voting for you. I was shocked just 2 days ago when I was within Headcliff, and when we were meeting people there, we met people who are in the structures of ZANU-PF, and they say to us, we are the ones who will make you win. I said, but you're not the member. I said, yes, that's where you miss it. This is how it happens. You come through us, and we will give you the seat. But it was ZANU-PF. We'll use our structures. That's how it works. It's something maybe you didn't know. And I didn't know that kind of a thing also.
One thing I know about party card-carrying members, the money is used to fund political funding of a party.
Yeah.
Yes. Is that not the same with you?
So?
Is that not the same with you?
It is. But I'm saying so.
Your qualifications first.
Okay, good. This is a terrible mistake. Okay. Actually, I remember what this guy from EFF South Africa, Malema. He made a very good statement. We shall not be able to really say it fully, but actually, if I'm going to be paraphrasing it, he was like saying, anyone can be a president. So anyone can be an MP, and anyone can be a councillor. The thing is, are you able to? We had President Mugabe with 7 degrees on his belt. He messed us up. So it's unfortunate if you still believe and think that for you to be a successful politician and successful leader, you need to be having degrees on your belt. Degrees of lying, degrees of killing people, degrees of bringing the nation down. You know what, sir? I don't want any degree. I want the degree of what? Of having to have the people at heart and making sure that I'm leading them towards the right.
You are now in the public arena. People want to know your qualifications.
Is it from where?
You whatever your basic education or the highest level of education that you have attained, whether it's tertiary, whether it's people want to know, because you are saying you are going to be representing
I really
the people.
want to bring this thing and tell you to say it's not about qualifications, okay? And also, people have got the right either not to vote for you or to vote for you. You see what I'm saying?
That's why we are asking
I
on
want
their
to
behalf,
voted in.
so that they have a choice.
You know what? They don't have a choice because I've got degrees. So they vote for me because I've got a degree. That would be foolish for them to be doing that. And anybody who will be asking that, they'll also be foolish. Because they've got to know from the background where we are coming from that we've been messed up.
Thank you so
by
much.
By degree people.
Thank you so
Anyone
much.
else?
Your educational manifesto.
Anyone else? Yes.
Are you happy with the current elections environment? What is it that you want changed? Because the president has been on record saying we are going to be having free, fair, credible, and legitimate polls. What is your take?
It's not very possible to have free, fair, and credible election when these guys are dilly-dallying on the aspect of the access to the BVR servers, on the issue of the ballot paper. It's not possible. It's just daylight cheating us, you know, that kind of a thing. And again, we have the political parties not being covered by the national media, to which they actually supposed to be paying to ZBC's, the TV, you know, licenses. But when it comes to them being covered, they're not being given enough time. But you hear the First Lady, she's being covered for buying tomatoes and doing those funny things. It's also unfortunate that you find such kind of situation, and this really depicts a really good picture to say that there's no way we can have a free and fair election from that kind of a background. Yes.